Hello everyone, Catweasel here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game, where we're currently on the Dunwich Legacy campaign and we're on our third scenario, the Miskatonic Museum. Our intrepid investigators Zoe Samaras and Daisy Walker are working their way through the museum where they're trying to find the restricted hall because it's got the owless, wormiest edition of the Necronomicon in it, and we're trying to keep it away from some filthy cultists. But we are stalked by a hunting horror which keeps coming back and bothering us. But as it stands, it's in the void at the moment, so we're okay. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to crack on. We've got to find some more of these exhibit halls and look for this restricted hall. But before we get straight into episode 16, yes, it's Catweasel's cock-up corner. I made a few cock-ups, so I've got to change them round. First of all, in the last episode, when I was doing the attack of opportunity that had missed the episode before, I put a horror onto the Elder Sign amulet. I couldn't do that because it wasn't actually in play when the attack of opportunity took place. So we'll take the horror off the Elder Sign amulet and instead we will put it onto Zoe. So she is now at 5 sanity. So that's that fixed. The other thing that I did catch last episode was I actually used working a hunch to pick up a clue. But I couldn't do that because it costs 2. Once again, I was thinking I was playing Mage Knight or something. So we've actually got to put that back. So we'll put that back here because we didn't have the resources. And talking of resources, I forgot to give Daisy a resource for the upkeep phase. So we'll just pop that there. Alright, I think that is everything. Now, Daisy's got 8 cards here. Somebody mentioned on, I think it was Chick, mentioned on BGG that I can't have any more than 8. I don't think during the last episode I did have more than 8 at any point. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure these are in play, so those don't count as in hand. This is my hand and there are 8. So I think that is okay. But if I've got that wrong, please let me know. Is that it? I think, yes, that is it for corrections and whatnot. So what we'll do is we'll get straight into episode 16, and I think it's round 31. And that means, oh yes, it's the laugh and the chuckle phase. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. First things first, oh yes, a doom. So we're up to 2 doom, but that's okay because we have a limit of 7. And who's going to go first? I think we'll have Zoe to go first, so she gets an encounter card, which are always a delight. And she gets Beyond the Veil. Well, she's already got one. So Beyond the Veil, Hex, it surges, so we're going to pick another card up anyway. Revelation, put Beyond the Veil into play in your threat area if there is no copy of Beyond the Veil in your threat area. There is. So we just surge this. And what is our second card? Crypt Chill. Oh, I hate Crypt Chill. Hazard, Treachery, Revelation. We've got to test our willpower at 4. If we fail, we've got to discard an asset we control. Ooh. So we might end up getting rid of the 32 Colt pretty much straight away. So we've got 4 willpower. Is there anything that we can throw at it? Dynamite Blast can be committed, but I want to keep that. So we're just going to have to do a 4 versus 4. So 4 versus 4, and we get a +1 again. Fantastic. Woo! Goodbye, Crypt Chill. Oh, yes. Right, so we move on to Daisy now. Daisy gets a encounter card, just the 1. And, ooh, she gets pushed into the Beyond Hex. Revelation, choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. Ooh. Well, it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? It's going to have to be Arcane Studies. So Arcane Studies goes in here. She hasn't got many cards left, to be honest. So let's do a quick shuffle and a quick cut. Oh, tell you what we'll do. We'll do that as well. And then another, and then a cut. Right, we've got to discard 3 cards. Bulletproof vest, damn it. Deduction, that's another good one. And Daisy's tote bag, well, that's just brilliant, isn't it? And she's still got internal injury. So, fantastic. So that was absolutely awful. At least we didn't have to take the 2 extra horror. And yeah, it's okay as it stands because she hasn't got Beyond the Veil. It's okay if Daisy runs out of her deck. If she gets decked, then you just take a horror. She could take a horror and then, well, Dr. Christopher can take the horror, to be honest. And then we just get all our cards back. But what is worrying me, we haven't got many left now, and internal injury is in there. And of course, the other thing is when you reshuffle the deck again, is we'll get the Necronomicon back in there as well, the John Dee version. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Alright, so that was a bit of a blow. And that is it for the Mythos phase. Next up is the investigation phase. And I've decided to, let's go back to the zooming in. I think it helps. Right, so here we are with Zoe. And what she's going to do, I think, is she is going to promote Guard Dog. So that is going to cost us 3. Oh, another thing I'm doing is, you'll notice, of slightly overlapping the cards. It's just to give me a bit more room. That'll cost us 3. 1, 2... 3. So we've got Guard Dog now, so hopefully that will do us some good. That was the first action. For her second action, I think we need some cards. I definitely think we need some cards, so we'll take a card for our second action. And if it bleeds, so an event, costs 1, it's got a willpower icon, a combat icon, fast, play after you defeat a monster enemy. Each investigator at your location heals horror equal to that enemy's horror value. It's a small comfort, but you'll take it. That'll do. And should I take another card? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we'll take another card, I think. She needs to build up her hand a bit, and she gets Guts. So this is a skill, 2 willpower icons, brilliant. Max 1 committed per skull test. If this test is successful, draw 1 card. Stay back, I'll handle this. Fantastic. So we'll pop that there. And yes, that's not too bad. And if we can get Daisy into the museum halls as well, then she could actually use that. Yeah, it could be committed by Zoe to help Daisy, because Daisy's willpower isn't the best. Right, not too bad. Those are the 3 actions. So I think what we'll do now is we'll pop across to Daisy. And here we are with Daisy. So I brought the exhibit hall down here because we're going to be investigating shortly. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves some resources. So we're going to play Emergency Cash. And that's an action. And it will give us 3 resources. It's just to make sure I've got enough resources to play Working a Hunch. So there we go. So we've got those resources now, and we may as well play working a hunch straight away. So that'll cost us 2. We'll play working a hunch, and this is fast. Playing it during our turn, and we're going to discover 1 clue at our location. So that means we don't have to test. So there we go. Pop that there. And then we've got this final clue. So for our second action, remember working a hunch was fast. We're gonna investigate. So it's got a shroud of 2. We have got an intellect of 6. So there's only the tentacle that can do for us, really. So, and we get a skull token. I think that's fine. -1, -3 if the hunting horror is there, but -1 is good enough. So we have investigated for that. Whoop, just check on here. Yeah, it's only if you fail a skill test, so that's great. We can put that back up here. And what is next? We've got 1 action left. What to do, what to do, what to do. I think what we'll do is move. I think we'll move. So let's go up to the map. And here we are at the map. So that is another action. And she is going to move. And she'll come here with her buddy Zoe. They are both in the museum halls. There we go. And that was her third action. So we'll go back to a player area and we'll have a look at her, what action? Her tome action. And here we are with Daisy again. She gets a resource. She's got Dr. Milan Christopher with her, so just notice that. So she does get a resource because she investigated to get that clue. Now, I could use medical text here and actually heal 1 damage off Zoe, but I think I'll leave that for the time being. And what we'll do is we'll just do the old Book of Law, and we shall have a look at the top 3 cards of our deck. So, Arcane Studies, which went back in, Magnifying Glass, and Internal Injury. So we're not going to use Internal Injury. That can go straight back in. I don't think we'll use Magnifying Glass either. We'll just get Arcane Studies back. And there we go. How many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 7 cards left before we deck ourselves. And Arcane Studies is an asset. We've seen this before. So we'll just pop it back up here. And that was our free tome action. Righto, so there we go. That is it for Daisy. That is it for the investigation phase. So let's move on to the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. And one of the good things about this particular scenario is we don't have to do much in enemy phases, at least when the hunting horror isn't out on the board. So we can go straight to the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase, so it's refresh cards. That is the old Book of Law back, and we want our actions back. 1, 2, 3, move that out of the way. And pop these back for Daisy. Then it's draw cards, so a card for Zoe. She gets psychosis. Damn it. Add psychosis to your threat area. Forced, after you take one or more horror, take 1 direct damage. And it's 2 to get rid of psychosis. For some reason, I thought this was losing all of... That's paranoia, isn't it? Yeah, paranoia, where you lose all of your resources. So, psychosis, what a pain. We'll put that here, we'll be on the veil. Oh, in fact, no. I'll put it right behind Zoe. And yes, we'll have to get rid of that next turn. We do not want that staying around. And she gets a resource, so she's up to 5. Then it's Daisy. And she gets hyper awareness. Cost 2, it's an asset. There's an intellect and an agility icon. It's a talent. And yes, very similar to things like hard knocks, arcane studies, that sort of thing. The free action, you can spend a resource and get +1 intellect. As a free action, you can spend a resource and get +1 agility. So a good card. That's an event. Now she is up to 8 cards in her hand now, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And she gets a resource. So she's up to 4 resources. Alright, so that is it for round 31, I think. So I'll go away, I'll upload this, I shall see if I can spot any errors, and hopefully I won't get disturbed this time, and I'll be able to come back shortly for round 32. I'll see you in a bit. And here we are at round 32. One thing I did miss is we have 1 victory point. We cleared off all of the clues from the Medusa Hall, so we've got a victory point. So, woohoo! Fantastic. There was much rejoicing. Okay, right, let's get on with the laugh and chuckle phase of round 32. So, first things first. Yes, a doom. And that is 3 doom. We have a limit of 7, so we can carry on. And it's drawing encounter cards, I think. And who is going to go first? I think Zoe. Zoe will go first. Why not? It's done pretty well for us so far. Oh, one thing I've noticed is these have been going out of focus, haven't they? Because I'm using my mobile rather than my normal camera, so I'll try and do better on showing you these, and we'll start now. She gets ephemeral exhibits, revelation, test intellect 3. Well, we could have done with this going to Daisy. If you fail, lose 1 action for each point you failed by. Are you watching the exhibits, or are the exhibits watching you? Ooh. So we've got that. So she has got an intellect of 2, which isn't the best. She could chuck evidence at it, I suppose. That'd give us 2. She doesn't really need it either, does she? Because we've only got the single monster. So I think we can afford to commit that. Is there anything else we can do? Oh, yes, there is, because Daisy is at the same spot. They're both in the museum halls. So can Daisy give anything? Yes, she's got perception. So that'll help. So she's going to commit perception. So that'll give her 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 6. 6 versus 3. I could use flashlight as well, couldn't I? No, that should be enough. 6 versus 3. So we're going to do 6 versus 3. And we get a -1, so we pass that. That's good. Get rid of evidence. And cost us 2 cards, but they're there to be spent, aren't they? And yeah, that's cool news. And let's move these across. So she's passed that, which is great. And now it is Daisy. And what does Daisy get? Daisy gets visions of futures past, hex, revelation, test willpower. Oh, we should have had these swapped round. Test willpower 5. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Are these visions of things... Oh, sorry, nearly forgot. Are these visions of things to be or things as they might be? Or could these horrors have already happened? Well, we've got a crappy test here. And, oh, yeah, we've got to get rid of that. So, her willpower is 3. Is there anything she can pitch to it? Again, we've got these shortcuts, but I'm not throwing those away. We could throw Arcane Studies. That'd get her up to 4. But, that's still tricky. And Zoe. Can Zoe return the favour? Oh, she can. She has guts. And that would give us 2 willpower icons, which would put her up to 5. So that's 5 versus 5. Is it worth it? I think it is, actually, because of the nature of the test. Yes, because you're for each point you fail by. So even if we fail, then it's good that we try and minimise the difference between the two. So yes, we'll do a 5 versus 5. So Zoe is going to pitch Guts on behalf of Daisy Walker. So we need a 0 or better. Come on. And we get a -2. Damn it. So she loses 2. But still, if we hadn't have done that, she'd have been getting rid of 4 cards, wouldn't she? So, you know, not too bad. Could have been worse. So she loses manual dexterity and drawn to the flame. Drawn to the flame's a good card. Don't want to lose that. And of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 left. And we've still got our other weakness in there, internal injury. We could have done, if we're going to bloody discard cards, we could have done with getting rid of that. Right, put those over there. So that's not too good. Lost a few cards there. Whether committing them to skill tests or just discarding them. Ah well, okay, let's carry on. That is it for the Mythos phase. Next up is the investigation phase. Here we are at the investigation phase, and Zoe's going to go first. We're at the map because, yes, she's going to use an action to move. So she is going to go back into the administration office. Let's try and get rid of this locked door. You never know, we may need these clues. So that was her first action. For her second action, we're going to try and get rid of the locked door. So we've got to do a test. And we're going to test strength, so that is 4. Do we get any additionals from anywhere? I don't think we do. No, we don't. I could chuck an if it bleeds at it, but no, we'll keep that. We might just need it. When the hunting horror comes out, it is an opportunity for us to get some horror back. So it's just a 4x4, isn't it? We need 0 or better. Go on, Zoe. Tentacle, that's a fail. And her last action, come on, a 0 or better. And we get a -1, unfortunately. So, no dice. We gave it a go, though. Okay, so that is it for Zoe. Next up, it is Daisy Walker. And I think we will stay here, because what we're going to do is we're going to use the action here on Museum Halls, and we are going to spend 2 clues. So spend 2 clues, and we are going to get ourselves another exhibit hall. So here it is. Pop that up here. Get rid of that. So we've got our second exhibit hall out there, and that was our first action. For our second action, we may as well find out what is actually in the hall. So we're going to move. And let's have a look. So, no need to read the front, they're all the same. We get, the nature exhibit. So, location, Miskatonic, exhibit. This has got 4 shroud. So, good job we didn't chuck the flashlight. 1 clue per investigator, so that's 2. Miskatonic exhibit, forced. After you enter this location, discard 2 cards from your hand at random. Nothing about this exhibit is natural. It's got a victory point of 1. So we've got to get rid of cards from our hand. Right, hang on. Let's get these resources off forbidden knowledge. So, suffice to say, this is her hand. We don't want to be losing the shortcuts, but that may well happen. 2 cards. And we'll do a cut. Let's do one of those as well. Another quick shuffle. And a cut. Come on! First card we're going to lose is Arcane Studies. We can't seem to keep our hands on that one. And the next one is Hyper Awareness. That'd have been useful as well. That would have been useful. So that's 2 more cards that have gone. But we do keep Shortcut, Flashlight, Dr. Francis Morgan, Shortcut and Forbidden Knowledge. Yeah, we could have, with that Shroud of 4, we could have done with keeping Hyper Awareness. But 6 versus 4, we should be able to do it, I think. Right, put these down here. We want 2 clues for that location. So pop those out. Not a doom, a clue. So there we are. Yes, the exhibit hall is the nature hall. Okay. Right, so that is our second exhibit out. We still have a action. So we may as well investigate. And so it's going to be 6 versus 4, isn't it? Am I going to chuck anything at it? No. 6 versus 4 is pretty good. You need a -2 or better. Come on. Come on. And we get a -1. That's great. So we pick up one of these clues. And we get a resource. I'm going to remember this time. Because we've got Dr. Christopher with us. So that gives us an extra resource. Brilliant. So we've managed to pick up another clue, open another hall up. That's fantastic. Let's get back down to her player area and we will do her old book of lore, I think. And here we are back with Daisy. So, yes, free tome action. We're going to use old book of lore once again. Plonk that there like that. And that means top 3 cards. Internal injury is next. We don't want that one. Flashlight and knife. Yeah, which one to have? Out of those, and we've got 1 card left. Well, we're certainly not going to take internal injury. And is it worth having the second flashlight? Ooh. Yes, I think we'll take the second flashlight. The reason for that is we can pitch it, yeah? We can commit it if we have to, if we're having trouble with this high shroud location. As it is, we're going to deck ourselves anyway. It's just, it seems inevitable. She's going to lose another sanity and we will get our deck refreshed. So there we go. Watch it. I better put internal injury right on the top. So we took a flashlight. Move these across. It's sad, innit? Look at me. Look at me. Even after I finish recording, I go around straightening them up. It's bad news. All right. So that is it for Daisy and for her actions. So that's it for the investigation phase. It's the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. There are no enemies. The hunting horror is still in the void. Fantastic. Okie dokie. We can get straight on with the upkeep phase. And it's the upkeep phase. So first things first, refresh cards. The old Book of Law returns, and we now get to pick cards. So a card for, oh, I forgot about psychosis. Thankfully she didn't take any horror or anything. Remember psychosis. I am going to put it there. Probably why I forgot about it. Idiot. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to miss that, am I? Right, so get rid of psychosis. Fool! We get a card. And we get first aid. This is good. Uses 3 supplies. First aid has no supplies. Discard it. Spend a supply and we can heal a damage or a horror. That is good. We may have to use this on Daisy, funnily enough, because the Elder Sign amulet is helping Zoe. So that's an asset anyway. Put that there. Coolness. And we have... No, we picked a card, so it's a resource. So she's up to 6. Then let's pick a card for Zoe. Oh, what's it going to be? She's only got 3 cards left and there's a weakness in there. It is the magnifying glass. Whew. So that is an asset. We've got no more room in our assets, so we'll put it down here. That's my asset robot. Tough day. We've run out of room in it, and we get a resource as well. Don't forget Daisy's resource. There we go. Oh, and actions, of course. There we are. And that is it for round 32. Again, it didn't go as well as last episode. Not bad, but not quite as good as the last episode. Again, we're hoovering up these clues. Hopefully Daisy can do the business and she can investigate right round if we get the time. We're fortunate that hunting horror hasn't come out again yet. We've got to get rid of psychosis when I remember, which will hopefully be next turn. We've got the victory point because we got all the clues from the Medusa exhibition. Yes, okay, the only thing is we'll probably lose another sanity off Daisy because she's only got 2 cards left in her deck now, and one of those is a bloody weakness. The other one is a knife, isn't it? So we've got knife and internal injury there. Unless we get an encounter card where we actually want to discard stuff. Otherwise, yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle. But, you know, that's the way it goes. And but with a completely fresh deck, I think that's worth it to lose a sanity. And she shouldn't run out of cards again before she actually gets around to the end here. Plus the fact if she gets a brand new deck, we don't have to worry about Beyond the Veil. There's a Beyond the Veil that's still in that deck. So, oh God, we don't want Beyond the Veil start of next episode for Daisy. Definitely not. Otherwise, she'd just have to immediately resign. Yeah, she'd have to do 2 move actions and just resign. Otherwise, she wouldn't stand a chance. Other than that, yes, we seem to be doing okay. Again, time is our enemy. We've got shortcuts. I might have to start using them now. I was hoping to get 3 exhibition halls out, and then I was going to use the shortcuts for, right at the end to quickly try and find the restricted hall. But yeah, I'm just asking to get those discarded some way, so I might just start using them next turn. Okay, but other than that, I think everything went okay. Well, I hope it did anyway. Keep your eyes peeled for any things going across the screen where I've noticed I've done a balls up. But other than that, that is the end of episode 16. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the views, for all the subscriptions, for all the likes and all the dislikes, and for all the help and support. If you have noticed an error that I haven't noticed, please let me know. There will probably be at least one. So if you do notice it, let me know and I will try my best to fix it. Other than that, if you watch these videos over at Board Game Links, thank you so much. And similarly, if you watch them at BGG on the video threads there, thank you. Any comments that you've made, either here or in those places, any geek gold, anything like that, thank you so much. It is much appreciated. And I hope that you will join us for episode 17. But until then, this is me, Cat Weasel, signing off. Toodaloo.